Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about the retro movie. And by now you guys would have noticed that Mr. Gladwin is missing.
Yes. He is sick right now. We all are sick, but we got better because we got sick like a week before and he just got sick and he's completely bedridden. So unfortunately he couldn't make it and he was like, okay, you guys carry on with it. He watched the movie though with us, but right now he's unable to do the shoot. So we are carrying on and we are going to do the review of Retro. Yes. And let's get into it.
Let's talk about the movie later, but what do you think about the theatre experience?
Okay, theatre experience of Retro. First of all, crazy because I'm watching the Tamil movie after a long time, after GBU though. GBU was really good. Retro, I'll be honest, it was not as high as GBU because GBU was tailored for a theatrical experience.
This has story in it.
But other than that, the theatre experience was amazing, lovely. But I feel like you had a different opinion with the theatre experience.
Yeah, that we'll talk about the end. Like it's, I feel like it's a bit of serious note, but yeah. So what do you think about the movie though?
First of all, Suriya's acting, amazing. All the others acting, crazy, amazing. They all did their roles really well. And in Suriya's character in the movie, there is a certain like a character, what do I say? Like a specific thing to his character. For example, like how we saw movies like Gajini and everything. There's this tiny thing, not as big as Gajini, but like there's a tiny thing that you remember after watching this movie.
Like his peculiar way of dealing stuff.
And there is one thing that he overcomes, and that is really good. The screenplay and everything, I really like it. The pacing. And coming to the story, first half. Let's just separate the first half and then second. I mean, two parts. Let's keep it. Okay. In the first part, they present you a story. A to B, the character is going from A to B. And they allow you to travel with the characters, get to know the story, go there. What happens is when you reach to that point B, you get introduced to a completely new story. Okay, like a prophecy-based story. So what happens in that point is, the characters that you traveled with, the story that you built up in your mind and the connections that you made, everything starts making sense in a different way. You're like, okay, this is what happened, this is where it's going, and then suddenly you go back and you start connecting. You're like, oh wait, this didn't happen because of this happened because of that. So that gave like a new abstract, new kind of information, a new experience to me, and then I was like, okay, it's interesting. And about the pacing for the movie, it's pretty, like there was no lag. It was perfectly paced. The actions are really good.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't feel any lag at all. Like it was really good. It has enough amount of mass elements, the hype elements. This movie had a particular story. Like he said, the second half was completely different. Like I think half of the people couldn't connect with it. That's what I felt because it hadn't had the proper links before. They didn't give a proper, or I would say like they could have done it a bit more deliberately to bring up to that particular aspect, I would say, because if we talk about it more, it'll be a spoiler. So that aspect could have been more deliberately shown in any other scene. Because as we expect in a Karthik Subbaraj movie, like everybody has experienced, in the first half, it was completely different. It was all around his gang and stuff. So we expected in that aspect. But then the second half took into another aspect. Even though there were certain subtle clues, but I feel like that wasn't enough to bring up such high moment where we couldn't enjoy that high moment. One of my friend also said there were emotional moments that, for example, they could see that emotional moment in Suriya Potter and Jaibam and they could feel it in them. They couldn't feel that in this climax. So I think it's because of that connect and that subtle clues aren't enough for such aspect, I guess. Overall, the concept is huge.
I thought it would be, first of all, he told it was a love film. Then he told there will be some action blocks. I would say it has more of an action. Because his character is like that, but then it's driven by love. All that. But then I never expected the core plot of the movie. I thought, okay, it's going to be an action movie or a love movie with a type of a story. But the story underlining this movie is completely something that you wouldn't expect. It's not new, but it's something that you wouldn't expect from a movie that was advertised in this way. So that took me out by surprise. And the song selections, I am a little skeptical about it. The song selection, the song that was chosen,
Okay, sorry.
The song that was chosen to be played at certain points, like maybe the fight scenes and those kind of stuff, the songs were didn't connect with me, but the otherwise, like other songs, the one or Kannadi Pove or what is it? Kanima, all those songs, and there's one more Marbadi.
Yeah.
Those songs really settled well with me, and just the few fight scene songs didn't really settle in. But otherwise, the story, the movie was a solid, good watch for me. I think certain people couldn't understand or couldn't resonate with the movie, which is completely fair because this movie is not like a normal.
Yeah, it is not a typical movie where everybody can like. It's. I would say like you need a different aspect to see over it.
Yeah.
So in my perspective, the movie was a solid like. As a Suriya fan, I really loved the film, and I would say it's a different kind of filmmaking. Like I feel like the movie is so. It has that abstractness in it, and it started as a typical Karthik Subbaraj movie, but then it ended in a different aspect, which I wouldn't say I 100% connected to it, but I like that abstractness that came like before interval and it was continuing after interval. The concept which they brought, and it was like something very huge concept, and it's new also. Like Tamil cinema hadn't tried that. Suriya, he is so good and new in this. Like I don't know why I felt that, but he has done so many roles. But then this film just showed a kind of a typical. There is no typicalness in this movie as like Suriya, and it just he had like a bit of goofiness here and there, and that just reminded me of Pitamagan. Where his character is not much serious. I really love that aspect of Suriya. That thanks to Karthik Subbaraj who brought that aspect over here. And yeah, moreover, all these actors have brought in their space properly. But then again, I still feel like there are certain actors who could have got more screen space. Such characters is especially Prakash Raj. I think he could have got more scenes which showed, more emotions and stuff. And regardless of that, the villain was amazing. His acting was really good. He previously acted in Double XL.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think most of them wouldn't notice. He was acting as a tribal villain. So I think he has brought a new aspect in him. Hopefully he gets more movies. Overall, complete family-packed film. Just guys have to have a new mindset to watch this film. So
and
yeah.
One more thing I noticed was Suriya's iconic, the way he drifts his bike.
Yeah.
So I have seen his way that he drifts his bike in many movies like Mars or like a lot of movies actually. I couldn't suddenly think of the name, but when I saw him drift his bike and he goes and gets in the bike after drifting, it really brought back the OG Suriya, and I'm like, oh, finally.
Thanks to Karthik Subbaraj for all bringing out that aspect. As for me, it's a bigger comeback from Kango we had. As a fan, I felt a lot of relief, and yeah, it was a great movie for me. And guys, about the theatre experience for me, it was not actually very pleasant. I felt like a lot of unusual hatred. A lot of people are like, when there is like scenes for no reason, they're simply, passing comments. I mean, maybe since I am a Suriya fan, I get hurt a bit, but regardless of that, I didn't notice this kind of wordings and throwing up words in subtle scenes and like for no reason. I didn't notice in Vijay film, I didn't notice in Ajit's film. For no reason, Suriya is getting like that. I've seen in a lot of social media, people are experiencing that. But personally, I experienced that yesterday. Only that part was disappointing. But again, there were far more Suriya fans who were shouting and we were enjoying. Hopefully, they change their mindset far away from that aspect. And yeah, from now on, Suriya gonna get some bangers after this. So yeah.
Suriya 44 is being directed by RJ Balaji.
Yeah.
So I don't think so that guy would disappoint us either.
Yep.
I understand how people feel different about it, the mixed views. Even Gladwin had a bit of a mixed view on this. But in all, in the end, we all had a similar view that this was a solid watch. It was really a good movie.
Yeah.
It has its ups and downs, but it depends if the ups and downs are really affecting you. Depends on personal view. I would say it's a good watch. You can go watch it in your theaters. And thank you, Black Ticket Entertainments, for bringing the movie here.
And we are going to see a lot of movies upcoming, guys.
Yes.
Let's see you guys there. Please subscribe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.